Well, good morning, happy Stitchers, and hope you're doing well on this nice sunny day. We are back from market, and it has been nothing but a whirlwind since we got back. And honestly, this is the first time I've looked at all the patterns again after we got home. So we wanted to share with you what we brought back. To be honest, it's going to happen in a few segments because we brought that much back. We have some new to us designers and some good old standbys who have got lots of great things for us. So without any further ado, we will get started. So we'll start with a new to us designer. They are called Needle Designs, and they have kind of a primitive bend to them. And the first pattern we have is Speak Kind Words. And the story behind this, Lydia, whose name is at the bottom, was the designer's great-great-grandmother. She and two of her sisters married 3 LaForge brothers, and all 6 of them began their trek by covered wagon across the country. One couple settled the Midwest, one in Oregon and one in the Los Angeles area. And she tongue-in-cheek said, perhaps there were some unkind words said along the way. So this is it's a smaller pattern. Stitch count is 79 by 78. So they use, they give DMC conversions. They use Classic Colorworks. And I don't see, oh, it's stitched on Fox and Rabbit's Duxbury linen. So they use, okay, and they also use Gentle Arts. So they use 3, they give you 3. So there was that one. And the next one is called Keep Kind Thoughts. And Maddie Treby, whose name is on the sampler, was the designer's great-grandmother. Her father, William Treby, was born in Cornwall, England, and came to America as a young boy with his widowed mother. He later served in the Union forces during the Civil War. Perhaps with such an adventurous father, Maddie wanted a grand adventure of her own. She met and married a man who was traveling to the Oregon Territory in a covered wagon. Their marriage was long and fruitful, and the designer grew up visiting and playing on their homestead. So there's a lot of family history in these 2 small samplers. And again, this is stitched on Fox and Rabbit Duxbury linen, and Crescent Colorworks, Gentle Arts, and DMC. 75 by 79 is the stitch count. So I'm kind of anxious to see what more Needle Made Designs is going to bring out. But those were 2 that we picked up. And another new to us designer. Oh, I did forget to tell you, you might want to grab a pen and paper to start writing down some of the ones that you like that you might want to check out in person and pick up to start stitching. But a new one for us is Finally a Farm Girl. And I didn't get a lot of opportunity to speak with the designer, but she's got some fun things. And a trend I did notice is there's a lot of Abraham Lincoln this year. Don't know why. Don't know if his big birthday's coming up, but I did see a lot. So the first one from them is called My Angel Mother, and it's got a quote from Abraham Lincoln that says, all that I am or hope to be, I owe to my angel mother. So, it says here on the back, I was just looking to see if they had a little story like the other one. She says, this has been a favorite quote of mine for years by Abraham Lincoln. She loves it. Although Abraham Lincoln lost his mother as a young boy, he gave her credit for those very important formative years that carried him through a lifetime. So this was stitched on 32 count Grasshopper with Weeks Dye Works. No specialty stitches, just one floss. So if you're looking for something quick, stitch count is 105 by 64, so it's a great bowl filler. Or just something you might want to put up because his birthday's in February. So I think we missed it, but So that was the first one. The next one is called Freedom for All. And again, this has got, I believe that's Abraham Lincoln in there. Yep. And he's got his mouse friend there. It's got 1776. And this was stitched on, let's see. It was an 8 o'clock by fiber on a whim called Oatmeal. They finished it on a paddle, and could also be finished as a bowl filler to go with the other Abraham Lincoln one. There's a DMC conversion. Actually, it looks like that's what she used. Stitch count is 100 by 95. So that's you want to add a little more color to it. That's Freedom for All. Now, for whatever reason, this seemed to be a popular one also. This is called Wool and Flax. And it says, she seeks wool and flax and works willingly with her hands. Proverbs 31:13. And if you've ever read Proverbs 31, it's called the Proverbs 31 woman. Somebody none of us feel like we can live up to. This was done on 28 count Joblin lamb's wool with a combination of DMC and Weeks dye work. So this gets into a little more color variations. Specialty stitches, there's long stitches for whiskers and French knots. I must be tired thinking of night already. For shawl button, the mouse nose, and flowers. The stitch count is 260 by 170. So that would be a fun one. I do have a different variation of this one from another designer. So those were 2 new to us. There might be a couple more throughout our videos that are new to us, and I'll try to remember to let you know. Deborah and I took a couple classes while we were at market, and one was from some wonderful ladies from the Netherlands with thistles. And they were the sweetest ladies. Their husbands, they were getting ready to map their trip back to Texas. I don't know if that's where they were flying out of, but they were asking the class, well, do you know of any places we need to stop along the way? So they were able to tell them a few things. So, you know me, I can't pass up anything Christmas. So this one is called Christmas Friends. And I thought this was absolutely adorable. They are all friends. Stitch count is 136 by 49. And I'm reading sideways, so if I tip my head, that's why. Gentle Arts. Floss is used with a DMC conversion. And she doesn't say, oh yeah. 36 count Dames of the Needle, Prim Gray. But you could use anything you want to. Okay. So, and this was actually stitched by the designer, Lizbeth. That's her name.
I'm going to need you to do something.
What's that?
I'm going to need you to stitch one of those, each one, on a different key fob. That way, the month of December, each week, you'll have a different friend in your pocket coming to work with you.
Well, why can't I just do the whole thing and have a big key fob?
I mean, you could, but I was like thinking of, how you can mix it up and have fun with that.
Well, and you can stitch these individually. I mean, you can do the little border or not, but you have your reindeer Santa, the snowman, and a gingerbread man. I just thought they were fun.
That's cute.
That's why I brought them home. And then this one was kind of unique compared to probably pretty much anything else we'll show you. It's called Never Enough Primitives. This is stitched on 36 count summer khaki with Classic Colorworks DMC conversion. Stitch count is 173 by 120. And I'm not sure what language they speak in the Netherlands, but they also have the sentence is translated into whatever they speak. It sounds kind of like German, but I'm not 100% sure that it's German. But I thought that was really nice. You've got a little sampler there, and your flower crock, your paddle, your pitcher. I'll be stitching this one up. And then the class that Deborah and I did, we were very interested in it. It was a project bag, but the back of the project bag was a cross stitch. So they went through very thoroughly on how to do the body of the bag. We didn't have time to stitch it, but we did get really good directions on how to do that. Now, this will be a class coming up here at the shop, so I just wanted to give you a sneak peek. But this is my stitching project bag. Very easy stitch.
So the big part's the back of the bag.
Yes.
And then that little inset picture, which I'm about to go focus on, is the front of the
That's
bag?
the front of the bag, yeah.
Oh, I like it. Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah. We were excited about it. Okay, glasses are going to have to come off because I can't read this close. There we go. I can read. Okay, they use Gentle Art and DMC. They have the conversion for DMC. Stitch on 32 count Zweigart Belfast. And I'll have to tell a story on Deborah. I felt so bad for her. We were sitting there in the class going through our kit, and they gave us everything from the vinyl to the fabric to the zipper to the batting to the cross-stitch fabric. So Deborah does not do 32 count at all. She runs from it. She'll do 16 all day, but 32 no. So she says, well, I'll just give you my 32. And I said, okay. So she's shuffling through her kit, and I'm like, what are you looking for? And she said, I can't find my fabric. Did I have my fabric? She spent a half hour, the rest of the class, trying to figure out where her cross-stitch fabric was. And I finally leaned over and said, Deborah, just go ask them. Go tell them you didn't get fabric in your kit. It happens. And so she finally called the assistant back, and she goes, oh, you know what I did? And this is with her thick Netherland accent. She said, I took fabric out of a kit to start stitching on. I think that was the kit. So Deborah was relieved that she didn't lose the fabric, but it became kind of a joke. It's like, Deborah, where's your fabric? So we had a good time. A lot of silliness comes out, but that's okay. That's what market's all about. We did get to visit, like I said, with a lot of designers. A lot of them were from overseas. So it's not just somebody you could pick the phone up and call and talk to easily. But they were really great. So next in line is Sweet Wings Studio, which we have several of their patterns. There was also what do I call it? It was every designer who wished to participate did a pattern and a sample on a theme. Last year it was cows. I think it was moo time or something they called it. But this year it was called tea time. Yeah, Peter, you should see his face.
Okay, I saw the pattern. I wanted the pattern, but I never told you, like, I want the pattern, because I was like, she's got so much to keep track of, so much to do. I was like, if it comes back, it comes back. It's fine. I didn't know the theme was tea time.
Yeah, I know.
And I looked at all the posts, and I never how did I not get that?
I don't know. I've got a couple of them.
I don't know.
So the first one we got is called Always Time for Tea.
Yes.
And this was stitched on 32 count magical gray. The stitch count is 59 by 59. DMC, or if you have Treenway silks, I think Treenway was the one who, of course, they wanted to feature their silks, but there's also a DMC conversion on here. So it was cute. There's another really cute one in here. I'm not real sure where it's at, but we'll get to it.
We'll get to it.
So, yeah, it says magical gray, but that looks black to me. But if you think about it, you could change that fabric. And if you went with like a lighter, you might need to alter the whites to a darker color. But if you don't like stitching on black, change the color.
Oh my God, you know what?
What?
You know that metal tin tea box I have?
Uh-huh. Think out of the box for your finishing.
I think I can just, well, what I would do is I would put that on a board and put magnets on the back, and I can just change them out. Oh.
Yeah, the finished design is 3 1/4 by 3 1/4.
Oh, I can handle that.
So it's not a big one. So yeah, you can, she finished this as a pillow, but you could put it on, like Peter said, a 10 or, you know, anything else you wanted to. Tea seemed to be a very popular theme at market this year. They had T-Rex Tea Company.
T-Rex.
I'm like, you know, that'd be great for a kid, but how many adults want to have T-Rex, you know, this big old dinosaur, waking up to them in the morning? And there were several others. I didn't go overboard on tea, but we do have a few. The next one is a sweet little pillow. It's called Without Ceasing. And this was stitched on 32 count Bittersweet Light Jobelin by Weichel. Stitch count is 111 by 34. Finished design 6.9 by 2.1. And it looks like Classic Colorworks, Gentle Arts, and Weeks Dye Works, plus the DMC alternates. It's got some back stitching and French knots in it. So I thought that was a very sweet little pillow. Be great for a friend if you needed a gift. The next one is called A Little Spring. We all need a little spring, although we've been teased mercilessly lately. This is stitched on 32 count blue-gray linen. 88 by 56 is a stitch count. 5.5 by 3.5 is finished. Classic Colorworks, DMC, Weeks Dye Works, with all DMC alternatives also. Looks like some back stitching and French knots.
I like the effect of this one. I like the spacing of the motifs.
Yeah.
I like that. I don't know what the stitch is called, but it looks like there's 4 cross stitches, and then they take a stitch diagonal from one corner up to the other corner over 4 stitches that are already there. It looks neat. On that bottom piece right there. What's that?
Oh, those are just like back stitches.
Oh, that's neat.
So yeah.
That's fun.
Yeah, it looks like she might have done it here also a little bit and there. So yeah. And she also has a sulky threads conversion on her website. So if you have a lot of sulky and you want to use it, and there's usually a conversion chart for just about everything out there. Okay, I showed you wool and flax over here from Finally a Farm Girl. Well, here is another one kind of along those themes. Peter will like this one because it has a sheep on it. It's called Willing Hands.
Yeah, I lost count of the sheep on that other one. There was a lot in that one. There was like one
Yeah, there's
here.
several sheep.
They're all over the place.
There's 1, 2, looks like 4 sheep in that one. This one you just get one big fluffy one. And her dress says she seeks wool and flax and works with willing hands. And she uses Forbidden Fiber Company threads, DMC alternatives. It's got some back stitching, cross stitches. And a lot of designers collaborate with thread companies and fabric companies. So I don't know that we ran into Forbidden Fiber Company threads. So that's one I'm not familiar with. But I thought this was a good one. Stitch counts 141 by 109. Finished is 8 7/8 by 6 7/8, so it's not bad. It's not real big.
I like what she did with the background. The designer, that background fill.
Mm-hmm.
That's really neat. And I like the pattern on the sheep.
Can we call those snowflakes?
I can't figure out what the white dots, if those are stitched or if that's that fabric with the white dots.
Nope, they're stitched.
Because then I saw them down in the flowers and I thought, okay, they had to be stitched.
Yeah, those are stitched.
Yeah, we can call those snowflakes because he has a, well, spring flowers coming through the snow.
Yeah.
Sure.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
The only disconcerting thing is she cut her head off. I learned in photography that people don't like it when you cut body parts off pictures. So remember that, Peter. Don't cut my head off, okay? Okay. Then we have Erica Michaels. We've had several patterns by her here. This one is called the Embroideress, and this was a class that she did last year at Nashville. And it's finished as a drum. It's stitched on 32 count latte light sand Belfast linen. Stitch count's 182 by 53. It looks like Weeks Dye Works whiskey is used. That's the gold in there. And then she used sulky black, but you could use any black. It's beautiful, finished as a drum. I really like the pins in there, the counting pins, the gold and the black. So there's also a finishing kit that you can get from Lady Creates. And I know our kit, the one that we got from our class, was called the Embroideress Channeling Coco, referring to Coco Chanel. So she released this. We got a couple other patterns in with our kits, so sorry you guys don't get them on this one. But I really like this, so I thought I would share it with everybody. It's elegant, yet it's, I don't want to say ordinary. It's not flashy. It would just...
It's sophisticated.
Yeah. Well,
I really like it.
Think about Coco Chanel.
I love it.
So there was that one. And then we brought home The Beach is Calling. I know The Beach is calling a lot of people. This was stitched on 32 count chocolate milk from Fabrics by Stephanie. The game board, which is the big part you see up here. The stitch count is 163 by 127. The drum is 124 by 43. She uses Weeks Dye Works, Classic Colorworks, and DMC. For the finishing, like the wools on the strawberry, you can get, those are Weeks Dye Works wools, and then the pom-poms and ribbons are from Lady Creates. So I thought that was a fun stitch. And a lot of Erica Michaels patterns will include strawberries. And I don't know how many of you have done the strawberries, but they're intriguing to me. And I'm considering a class on it, so if you're interested, pop down in the comments and let me know, because if there's enough interest, I will probably do a class on doing strawberries.
I love the way she did the words. How it looks like a Scrabble board.
Mm-hmm.
That is awesome.
Yeah. And all the little motifs on there, the lighthouses and things like that, you can pull those out and just stitch them individually like you suggested with the Christmas Friends if you wanted some smalls.
I mean, this is fun.
Uh-huh.
This is a lot of fun. I really like this one.
Yeah. How soon you starting on it?
That'd be pretty. Well, I got that one with the cabin.
Will this be a
Hey,
Peter made me do it?
I'll make somebody do it. Hey, do we have little stickers I can put on these so I know which ones I like? Because I can't write these down. Maybe somebody can make me a list for me.
Oh, please, somebody make a list for Peter, because I can't do it either.
I'll forget.
Yes, he will. And he'll go, you remember that pattern? I'll go, nope. So then we brought home a couple samplers by Erica Michaels. This one is called Sally Bullard. And it says, how letters great and small are wrought. And if you have researched samplers at all, this is how young women learned their alphabet and their letters and numbers, is they did samplers. So this is stitched on 30 count pecan shortbread legacy linen from Access Commodities. That's a new one. Stitch count is 85 by 92. They use Simply Wool from Gentle Arts. Weeks Dye Works and DMC Alternatives are inside. And I guess there's a separate alphabet card that there's a pattern in here for. So this isn't a very big one. So if you're wanting just a small, sweet little sampler, there's this one. And then the next one is called Mary Briggs, and hers says, the greatest thing in the world is the alphabet, as all wisdom is contained therein. Think about that one for a little while. So this is stitched on 36 count Wren linen from Picture This Plus. Stitch count is 148 by 146. DMC Alternatives are in here. Classic Color Works and Weeks Dye Works. So those are all in here.
I like how she's got the originals.
Yeah.
Tucked behind the inspired one.
And how much does she show you of that?
Just
okay.
just a snippet.
Here's
it's
more
got
of
the
it.
one.
Yeah.
Oh, that's neat. I love that. They stuck the whole thing on the back.
Yep. And I think on Sally Bullard, they had the antique one also.
That's cool. That's neat.
Yeah. And this is probably the pattern that got me thinking about strawberries, because I really appreciated the sayings on this one. This is Quaker Wisdom Berries, and there's 3 of them. Peter, can you read them? Oh, live simply,
No.
expect less, and give more. So each berry has that saying on them. They're stitched on 36 French vanilla from R&R Reproduction. Stitch count is 126 by 72. DMC Alternatives are listed inside. She uses Weeks Dye Works and a DMC white. For the finishing, for the tops of the berries, ready for me to turn it over?
Mm-hmm.
They use Weeks Dye Works wool. But there's the tops of the berries.
Oh, what?
Yeah. A lot of times you don't see the tops of the berries.
Is this the one that said has inspired you to do the...
Mm-hmm.
I can see that. These are very cool. They check all the boxes for me.
Yeah.
Neat.
So a lot of her patterns, she has a coordinating berry with it. Okay, off to Autumn Lane. I like their patterns. They seem to be a little bit involved, but they're still fun. Not too quirky, but they're just fun. I couldn't leave Nashville without snowmen, even though it was 70 degrees down there. Sorry. Sunny, tornado warnings, all kinds of fun stuff. Evacuation from the hotel. Yeah, real fun. So this one's called Let It Snow. Your stitch count is 100 by 100. You do it on 28 count. The finish is 7 by 7, 6 by 3 by 6 by 3 on 32 count. This was stitched on Opal Linen Winter Blues by Bestitch Me. And it looks like all DMC. So they did suggest for the snowflakes on the outside of the design, to give them a little sparkle, is to use the DMC, I know I'll butcher this name, Etoile the floss with the sparkle in it. So if you have a source for that, you could pick it up and do your snowflakes in that and they'll sparkle. So back stitching is the only other stitch used. So that's Let It Snow. My other fun holiday is Halloween, and I just love this one. It's called Let It Grow. A cute little witch's shoe with all kinds of fun stuff growing out of the top of it. And did you know you could use shoes and boots and things to plant flowers in? You can. There are gardeners who do that. Stitch count on this is 69 by 69. And suggested fabric is a light to medium gray, or whatever your choice is. And DMC floss. So I just thought that was a fun stitch. Last year I think we picked up a lot more from him. So there you go on that one. And of course, you can't bypass spring. This one's called Spring is Sprung, and look at that little duck in the middle with the daisy for an umbrella. And the bees. Those are good bees. Those are fun bees. So this is a suggested fabric is a light green, stitched on 28 or 32 DMC flosses. It looks like cross stitches and back stitches. And stitch count is 70 by 128. And what's interesting is this designer. Peter, do you think that the designer is a man or a woman?
A young girl. But
No.
Autumn Lane Stitchery, I already know this. You told me this last year.
Yeah, it's a guy.
It's a guy, yeah.
And he has got, some of his
Cool stuff.
is really quirky. He goes into mermaids and some witches and things like that. And I don't mean to categorize and say that men can't design cross stitch, because obviously they can. But they're not that many.
You don't see that many.
And he has got some fun stuff. I just thought last year when I met him that he was manning the booth for his wife, but then he says, yeah, I'll make the check out to Aaron Houston. I'm like, oh. Then I'm reading patterns and it says designed by Aaron Houston. Okay. And let's see, does he stitch his own samples? He doesn't give credit, so he probably does. So he's a busy guy.
I'm very busy.
Yeah. Oh, and look on the back.
He makes a lot of patterns.
He's got sketches. That's
probably he's got his
how
illustration.
He started.
Son of a gun, that's cool. Oh, I like that.
Yeah, the others are printed. This is the first one I've seen that has like the pencil sketch.
Oh man, look at that.
Yeah.
I like that a lot. I'm always fascinated by the designers that are illustrators, meaning illustrator with a graphite pencil and paper. I know a lot of it's digital now, but
right. But
there's
at one point,
a couple Moda fabric designers that sketch.
Yeah. Puntini, we went to their booth. If you are in the Cross Stitch Serendipity box, your box will contain wonderful gifts from Puntini. But this one I thought was really cute. And then I think, haven't we had this before? It's called When I Think of Stitching. And I can't remember. So if anybody out there has bought this from us, please let me know. DMC floss. It's done on 36 count vintage country mocha. Stitch count is 114 by 54. And there's an extra alphabet chart in here to customize the scissor fob.
Okay, I love this.
Yeah.
I love it because right behind stitching is a sampler.
Yep.
That's cool. Got that layering.
Yep.
I
And
like
then
it.
all your tools that you as a stitcher
Fun.
use. Yeah.
Now, if you're going to display that, folks, you got to do it in front of the thimble case. I'm just saying.
With your flosses and then your fabrics and I'm not sure we'll get them to do that, Peter, but okay, we tried.
Somebody out there will have that already. They'll be like, oh.
Okay, we visited our friends from the north at Pansy Patch. They're from Canada. I did not realize that. If you are doing their Houses on Pumpkin Lane series, we got the last 3 in the series, so you can finish those up. If you're doing this, let us know. They said you could do this as pillows or you could do it all in one. And remind me to flip it over because they have the all-in-one in the back.
I'm counting squirrels right now.
You're counting squirrels. Okay, this one is
you can flip
Cinnamon
it.
House.
We can flip it.
Well, I've got too many patterns here. It's on 36 count dirty teacup.
Dirty teacup.
Yeah, but you know about that, don't you, Peter?
Admittedly so.
Yes. Stitch count is 97 by 87. It's approximately 5.5 by 5 inches. Weeks Dye Works, Gentle Art, Classic Color Works with a DMC conversion. And how many squirrels did you count, Peter?
There's 2 squirrels and a lot of blackbirds.
Okay.
Or starlings. It's amazing how many different noises a starling can make.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Yep. Okay, there's that one. And this one is called Acorn House. This is also done on 36 count dirty teacup. Same
that
floss.
squirrel's about to give it to that blackbird with that
Yes,
acorn.
he is.
He's mischievous.
Gonna beat him with it. Well, he probably irritated him. Tried to take his winter stash away. Before we came in here, we have a Ring doorbell, and it went off before we came out here. And I thought, well, I'm not expecting any deliveries. And about 3 o'clock in the morning, we'll have a cat that will walk by and set it off. And then when he goes back home, it'll set it off. So there's like 3 cats that will set it off. So I thought, well, I'm gonna look and see what's being delivered. Well, I didn't see a delivery truck, but in my flower pots on the porch was a squirrel. And that's what set it off. He was digging, trying to find where he buried his nuts. And I'm like, oh my, not there, trust me. Okay, and the final one in this series is called Harvest Home. Same fabric, same floss. Now, if you do them as the little pillows, it's trimmed with the pom-pom trim color Brick House by Lady Dot Creates. And then, if you do it all in one, that's what it looks like.
Ooh. Do we know anybody that's doing them all in one?
I don't know, but if you are, you need to let us know. We would like to see it.
Very cool.
Yeah. And then we have Summer Garden at Cranberry Manor. I liked this one. This is done on 36 count
too.
Hemingway by Needle and Flax.
Was that in that all together, or is this a different one?
This is a different pattern.
Okay.
Same designers, different pattern. This is a standalone. Weeks Dye Works, Gentle Art, Classic Color Works, DMC conversion. This is the Nashville Needlework Market exclusive. Gardening is one of the designer's favorite pastimes. Summer gardens are so pretty, full of butterflies, bunnies, bees, and birds, and beautiful flowers and colors. Oh, looks like she's going to have 3 seasonal garden designs. So this is the first in a series.
Neat.
Wow, how big is this? Stitch count 118 by 108, approximately 6.5 by 6 inches finished. So it's not really big.
I like her house. She's got decorative doors, and she's got some nice things happening on that house.
I wonder if that's really her house. Okay, and if you
Quote block.
are doing Betsy's Spring Baskets, this is number 4. This is a spring basket. Done on 36 count Ren by Picture This Plus. Weeks Dye Works, Gentle Art, Classic Color Works. DMC
Those flowers
Conversion.
need some water.
Are they drooping?
I thought, well, that's really cool. They got the flowers upside down on the side of the basket, just to fill the space. And then I saw the stems went in there, and I was like, oh, they're drooping.
But it could be that he had to droop in order to get the sunshine because of all the other flowers up on top.
True. I think you're right.
So,
I'm going to go with that.
Let's go with that.
That's a good explanation.
We don't want droopy flowers.
Because they're not, the blooms are as bright and bold as can be. Very happy looking blooms.
So that's how they grew. They needed sunshine. Did she have a pin keep on this one? No. Okay. So that's the fourth in that series. So we'll be looking for more series from them. Okay,
What do you have? What else do you have on the table?
That's only half the table, Peter.
Half the table and how?
And one
this
bag.
is only one bag of.
One bag.
7 bags.
You can show them the cart. That's the cart. It's not organized, but that's the cart.
That's what we're working with, folks.
Oh my. Okay. Heart and Hand. Remind me to talk about Friend Stitch when we go through the patterns
okay.
here. Okay, this one is called A Honey of a Frill. And she had these samples in her suite. And I really fell in love with the way she finished them. They're like in a box.
Okay.
And I need to check this out a little more to find out what they used for the finishing. It's done on 32 count old stationery linen by Seraphim Hand Dyed Fabrics. Classic Color Works and Week Dye Works, I think. Maybe I should check inside. Yeah, Classic Color Works, Weeks Dye Works with the DMC conversion.
The back of that one shows how it's a box.
Yeah. I think that shows the Halloween one.
But it gives it kind of the dimension of it,
Yeah.
dimensionality.
It's the finishing. You can go, and I think she has this gal do her finishing. It's Mona Boast. So I could go to her website and check out exactly, did they use a styrofoam cube in there? Is it a box?
Oh.
What is it in there?
Yeah.
What is behind the fabric? So I thought that was cute because it goes along with something I'll show you in a minute. If you're following the bird series, we had the hummingbird sampler last year. This is the cuckoo bird sampler.
Oh, man. That's neat.
Yeah, the hummingbird's on the back. I'll show you that in a minute. It includes the beads in here. Weeks Dye Works and DMC. Only one color. And stitched on 36 count antique lace linen. And it has the letters in here that you could change the date if you don't get it done this year. So if you remember the hummingbird sampler from last year, that's it. And we have a sample of this one here in the shop. And then those of you who are following Tiny Town, I have the patterns, but I haven't had time to stitch them yet. This one is called A Honey of a Tiny Town. So you could probably guess the theme. I think there might be bees. Classic Color Works, Weeks Dye Works with the DMC conversion. It's also done on 32 count old stationery linen. Some back stitching, a lazy daisy stitch. She has the buttons in here for you. But I love the Tiny Towns. And we got a sneak peek of the next one coming out, and it's beach themed. It was fun. So if you're doing the Tiny Towns, show us the pictures, and you can finish it as a picture this way, or you can finish it as a drum. If you don't have a lot of places to do, the pictures, you could do lots with drums. You can stack them. You can keep them individual. You can, like I said, you can do lots of fun things. So that's that one. And then we have a pattern called Everyday Things. The everyday sweet little things are the most beautiful. I'll have to take it out of here. Looks like Belfast flax linen, 32 count, Classic Colorworks, Weeks Dye Works. Looks like there's a heart button, which she includes on here. Use a trim, the rickrack from Lady Dot Creates. So that's a fun one. And then if you enjoy the etchings that she does, she's had a couple of them. This one's called Floral Etchings, which is kind of different, but it kept talking to me, so I had to bring it home.
Yeah.
36 count old stationery linen, must be her new favorite. Have to check that out. Classic Colorworks, DMC, Weeks Dye Works. Stitch count is 121 by 65. Finish is 6 by 3.5. And what was interesting, she shows you the picture of them all together, but in her booth she had taken this flower right here and did it on probably a 10 count fabric, so it was bigger, and finished it as a pillow. I think she had some fabric on this side, different fabric going around, and then had rickracks and ribbon, and it was really a pretty pillow. So that shows you don't have to do them all together. If you only like that flower, you only have to stitch that flower. Or if you just like that one. Or you could do 3 separate ones. Possibilities are endless. Last year I think we brought back seasonal etchings, which is here on the back. And again, this is charted to where you could pull these out individually or keep them together as one. And I think she did another etchings, but it's not coming to mind real quick. So, okay, so Heart and Hand and Bent Creek have gotten together and do what is called Friend Stitch. We have done it, a few of us from here in the shop have done it for the past 2 years. And it's a one-day event. They send you the box with all your goodies, and they tell you not to peek until the day of the Zoom. And then you follow along in the Zoom. They give you a lot of good information. Sometimes they'll bring in special guests to tell you maybe some finishing tips or how to finish one of the projects in the box. This year they're doing 2 Friend Stitches, and I had to go back on Sunday because I had some questions about it. I knew I'd gotten an email, but still had some questions. But I believe the last 2 years it was around $300 to participate. But that included everything in your kit, the Zoom and everything else. This year they're breaking it out into 2 sessions. One's in August and one in October. Price point's going to come down. The projects are smaller, so you might, there weren't huge projects in the other boxes. There was one big one and then a couple smaller ones. But I think one of the themes is Halloween. Not sure about the other one. I'm not 100% sure about Halloween. But, if you're interested, you might just look up Friend Stitch, get on their Facebook or email list, and, try it out. It's a lot of fun. Get some friends to come over and stitch with you and to watch the Zoom. We had a good time. So I plan on doing it again this year, both sessions. So I'm excited. So that's my plug for them. Okay, Lucy Beam. I should save one of these patterns for the very end, but I won't. So we have the lake house. I could stay here. Stitch count is 166 by 159. They use Gentle Art and DMC. The fabric is 32 count Pushers Cerulean from Lapin Loops, which I think Lapin Loops is a fairly new fabric dyeing company, and I believe it's her daughter. So,
Do you have any of those lights left over from when you were making Kimberbell project bags? Or Kimberbell pillows?
we might. But
Because you could light the windows.
you could. These little swirls in the background, I originally thought this was all full coverage, and I thought, man, that's a lot of stitching. The house is a lot of stitching, but these are just like waves, swirly waves, and the fabric is blue, so that's what makes it look like a full coverage. But is your flag as big as your house?
That's
a big
something
flag.
else. That's just a big lake house.
Yes, it is.
A lot of people in that family.
I can take it. Okay, and if you know friends who have a lake house, this one, the way to a friend's house is never long. Stitch count is 247 by 81. They use Gentle Art, Weeks Dye Works, and DMC. Fabric is 36 count Buttercup by Under the Sea Fabrics. And see, this is the way we learn about different sources of fabrics and flosses and stuff. Because I remember somebody mentioned Under the Sea Fabrics, but I didn't remember them being there. And this is probably my market favorite, even before I went to market. And by the end of all these videos, you'll see. This is called Immortal. It says, buying cross stitch like I'm immortal. How many of us are doing that? Okay, stitch count is 98 by 137. Gentle Arts. They use the 40 count Crypt cloth from Lapin Loops.
What kind of cloth?
Crypt.
Crypt, like a
Like
crypt.
a crypt.
Okay, I was making sure I heard that
Yeah.
right.
It's
Oh, that's so appropriate. Crypt cloth, like I'm immortal.
I'm immortal,
Oh, I
yep.
love this.
Yep.
Loving it even more.
So it must be nice to have a daughter who dyes fabric.
Yes.
Maybe I could train one of my daughters to do that.
You could.
Maybe my next immortal lifetime.
Well, what about all those grandbabies?
Now that I might have better luck with.
Get a whole business going.
Hey, we could get Ellie going. She can, oh wow, she can get fabric dyed with all different kinds of sources of stuff. Oh dear, Ellie. Ellie needs something like this to do, so I'm not sure. But this is probably my all-time favorite because when I look at my stash and I look at what I'm doing and think, I will never get all of this done. But that's okay.
You know, people always post, we had it in quilting when people would post pictures of their quilting stash or their quilting room. It would be interesting to see pictures of people's cross-stitch stash or their cross-stitch room.
You don't want to see mine. Sadly, it's right across from my husband's recliner, so he can just turn his head and go, uh-huh. So he always just says, oh, something for Julie's inheritance. And I'm like, yeah. So that's how I get away with bringing more stuff in the house. I did forget somebody. Oh, my. I'm going to save her for last, though. Okay. This is another new to us designer, and I was pretty excited about them. They are running with needles and scissors. I don't recommend that, but they have a cute bunny as their logo. And this is called My Little Sampler. This is done on 40 count parchment. And they use the Gloriana floss. And they give you the DMC conversion. And you can either do it, if you choose to do it with the Gloriana, there's a muted version and a bright version. So, yeah, they give that on the back. There's a bright and a muted. So you could do it either way.
I like the letters. They're I like the different colors. I like the different shadings. Some are light, some are dark, some are medium.
Yeah.
I like that a lot.
And we picked up the thread packs.
Oh, look at that.
I think this is the muted.
Cool.
It's more like what's in the picture.
Yes.
So we'll include
That's
the floss
neat.
in the patterns.
Look at you go, always in stitches. I love this.
Yeah, I tried to keep up with it.
Ah.
Running with needles and scissors. Oh dear.
And buying cross stitch like I'm immortal.
Exactly. Okay, this was fun. Look at these buttons.
Oh, look at that.
Aren't those fun? I'm gonna have to open this up.
Yeah, that look good on a cardigan.
You're gonna put them on a sweater?
Yeah. I mean,
No.
you can stitch them. You can
No.
make covered buttons.
Here's your fabric.
Oh, are they too big?
It's kind of a bluish gray. And they even include the floss.
You know, I'm liking these designers more and more.
Yeah, this is, it's silk threads. It's called Old Maid of the Lake. Doesn't say
pretty.
who it's from. But if you can see it, it's variegated. It's got blues in there and greens. Can you see those?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Oh, I love it.
Isn't that pretty? So here's the buttons again. There's a stitching layout so you can get all your buttons on this fabric. Oh, it's custom dyed silk, so that's why they
Wow.
don't have a name on it. 32 count Silver Moon Lagana is the fabric.
So okay, so it looks one color on the buttons. I'm gonna slide this towards me and get another picture of the floss.
Let me turn it up a little bit.
Because this is more of like a teal blue,
Yeah.
and I'm liking it. It's variegated between. Oh, what are you focusing on? Come on now. It has kind of that aqua blue in the middle, and then it's got kind of more of a slightly deeper on the outside in the variegation.
I wonder if I could unroll it.
That's pretty. I like how it comes spooled too.
Yeah. They did everything for you but the stitching. It all kind of looks the same.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, except for here, you can see how it's really dark.
There we
The
go.
more blue.
There we go.
So that gives you a good representation
Yeah.
of the colors of the...
Well, that'd be fun to stitch with that
Yeah.
silk.
Mm-hmm.
What a great way to get to try silk.
Yeah. Because you probably won't use all of what's in here. So you'd have some to maybe use on another project you wanted to do. There, good as new. And then, not only do you have these fun little buttons, we got the little trays to put them on.
Oh, wow. Look at this.
It looks like a Scrabble board
It
tray.
does.
Yeah.
That's neat.
But when I saw them in the booth, I went, oh, I love them. They look even better in person. Probably
That's
a
neat.
quick stitch. But, I mean, you could pair it with this one. You could pair it with another one I have in here somewhere. Or on
I'm
the card.
thinking I've come up with my name and then it can be on my desk. Like my name.
Hey, there you go.
What
I
are those
wonder-
called?
Let's see if they
On
give
people's
you
desks, is
a
a little
nameplate.
nameplate. Yeah. Could you imagine if you're in your office, you got this really cool cross-stitch nameplate?
Well, Peter, they only give you the letters for stitch. So you would have to find, and we have a book that has alphabets in it.
Wouldn't be hard.
So you could find one similar to this style and do your name. Would you use a silk floss?
I would have to buy this kit just for the floss and the Scrabble board thing.
Yeah, because we will include that all together.
Because I really like that color. That's a cool color, especially for summer,
Oh, yeah.
spring and summer. And it still looks like winter. I mean, it's like all season.
Well, it kind of goes with the
The
background
waves.
of the lake house.
Yeah, it does.
Or even the fabric. So, yeah. Okay, so we'll be expecting to see more with running with needles and scissors. Okay. Put the glasses down here. Don't let me step on them. Okay, October House. We had fun with them. Here we have the vintage tree.
That's pretty.
Yeah, stitch count 105 by 87, 36 count aspen linen by Weeks Dye Works. Finish size 5 3/4 by 4 3/4. Classic Colorworks Gentle Art Weeks Dye Works. Conversion with DMCs included. Cute little tree.
I'm liking that a lot.
Yeah. Now, if you stitched Strawberry Fair by October House, we have a new one called Honey Fair. We've got a beehive with a bee. This is done on 32 count parchment. Finished is 5 3/4 by 4 1/4. Stitch counts 92 by 68. Classic Colorworks Gentle Art Weeks Dye Works with DMC conversion. So you won't, if you do the DMC conversion, you won't get the same effect. Is this sideways? No. I'm thinking with the beehive, you want the hand dyed to give that coloring, and also the flower stems, the vines.
Yeah.
So I would recommend doing this one in the hand dyed. I think you'd be really happy with the way it comes out.
Yeah. That's a good suggestion.
And then I fell in love with this one
That's beautiful.
because I like the cherries. This is called Americana Red.
Wow. I like that.
Stitch count is 217 by 259. This is done on 36 count Cream Brulee by R&R Reproductions. Finished is 12 by 14 3/8. One color floss, Licorice Red from Classic
That's
Colorworks.
pretty.
And a DMC in there also.
That's fun. I'm liking
Yeah.
the 3 borders.
Yeah.
I like this. I like this a lot.
Now, what can you do other than the sampler?
Just the sampler. I'm just doing the sampler.
You're just going to do the sampler.
Oh, look at
Well,
those quilt blocks.
You can pull the barn
Man,
out.
that's fun.
You can pull this out and do it individually. You can pull these two out and do them individually. You can do a border of cherries on just about anything.
That's
So-
fun. I like the alphabet letters. I like how wispy they are.
Yeah.
They're very thin and wispy.
Look at this border.
I
Isn't that pretty?
know. That's stunning. That's just fun. It's got fun shapes.
Yeah.
And that would look good on any count cloth.
And really, the only coverage you
How-
have is the barn.
You probably said it, and I was just admiring it, and I didn't hear you. How big is that?
Finished, it is 12 by 14 3/8.
You know what I'm thinking? How cool would that look on a tote bag?
Oh, yeah.
Because it's like the size. It's like the size of a tote bag.
Okay, I had some thoughts on this stitch bag. And this design, let's see. Okay, it doesn't give me a finished size, but the stitch count is 115 by 115. You can change the shape of your project bag. This would be
Stunning as a project bag.
a taller one. It'd be more tall and skinny.
Yeah.
Not real skinny.
But some patterns are, vertical.
Yeah. So you would just have
And put a bigger
to
border.
change, the amount, the way you cut your fabric. And if you quilt, you can do all that.
Yeah, if you make bags, you got this
Oh, yeah.
easy.
Yeah. So when are you going to have your project bag done, Peter?
That's stunning. Can I just say it's stunning?
Did you ignore my question?
Stunning. I have the cross stitch fabric that
Yeah.
coordinates with that
Yeah.
red cross stitch fabric from
Yep.
Blackbird Designs that I squirreled
Yep.
away.
Yes, you did. And here's a cute card called Snip Snip.
Okay, moving on.
124 by 37. You couldn't do this in a project bag, sorry. But you could put it in your project bag.
Well, I did just see Cappy make a called a biddy box. I just got done filming that. It's called How to Make Biddy Box and Cappy's a Bag video. This would be the biddy box.
Yes, this would be the biddy box. This is stitched on 36 count, so your finished size is 6 7/8 by 2. Looks like Weeks Dye Works and DMC conversion. This is called a skinny mini pattern. It's cute.
Skinny mini.
Done on 36 count cream and sugar linen by Fiber on a Whim. So to go along with Snip Snip, we have the Itch to Stitch. So, and you can fill these with either fiber fill or you can fill them with walnut shells. So, looks like about the same fabrics and flosses as Snip Snip.
That's so cool.
So another skinny mini pattern. So that's what we brought from October House. And then, okay, I'll have to talk about, we've got 2 Indiana designers.
Yay!
One is Lindy Stitches, Stephanie Wells. If you went to the Jingle Ball that was done this past December, I believe, you will have met Stephanie Wells, who is Lindy Stitches, and some of the other designers that you'll be seeing their patterns from. But we pulled a couple patterns from her, and this one is called Little Brown Bird. And it says, little brown bird with breast of red. What bird is it, Peter?
Robin?
I expected a quicker answer. Fly back to me, for winter is dead.
All night hoppin', all night robin.
There you go.
All night hoppin'. See, I'm going to be a cross-stitch designer. All night hoppin', all night robin.
So this is done
I
on
love this.
32 count Sea Spray by Seraphim.
This really breathes her aesthetic, you know?
She is a very different designer.
I like it.
Classic Colorworks, DMC.
I like her font. I like her border. I like her trees. I like the birds.
Oh, we'll have to turn it around and show you the bird on the back.
Okay.
You ready?
Yep. What?
Yeah.
Did she watercolor that?
I don't know.
Oh, she would have had to. Wow.
Yeah, so we brought that one back. Now this one has a story. This was called Frolicking in the Daffodils, in the Dandelions.
Okay, I love this.
Now she is, I think, she did one with a cat. And I'm not sure if the title's Tiptoeing Through the Tulips, but it was a cat with tulips. Now, the owner of the shop, Lenine, has a poodle. And we decided to get this one in honor of her dog, Gracie. Now, if you have a poodle, but it's not a black one, you can change the floss color to whatever color your dog is. And your dog could be frolicking in the daffodils.
And literally, you can match it, the floss, exactly to the color of your dog. It would not be hard.
Now, you might have to chase your dog around to stand still long enough so you could hold the floss next to him, but that's okay.
How many poodles are we going to see in the shop?
I don't know.
People have to match their floss to their poodle.
I need to match my dog.
We have a couple people that brought their dog, who's brought their dog in. I've met several dogs here.
Yeah, this one, 62 by 98 is the stitch count. No, 65. 32 count linen or 16 count Aida. And she has 2 choices of linens, winter woolens or water lily. Weeks Dye Works and DMC. So yeah, I mean, just because a designer uses a certain color, if you feel that you have a color you like better or matches your decor better or your garden or just a color you like and wanted to use, like that silk floss, you can change it. Make it yours. That's what I always tell my classes. Just make it yours. So, Lenny, we got your dog.
Got your dog.
Now, a second Indiana designer, and she actually lives pretty close to me, is Stacy Nash. And we've not heard a lot from Stacy for a while.
Go knock on her door.
I probably should. Hi, Stacy.
Look what I got from Market.
Yeah. We were the one with the really big bag. I don't think there's one we said no to, did we? Because I think you were in on that one with me. So we'll go through these. This one's called A Walk Through the Garden. It's a pin keep stack. Really cute. I like the bunny.
I like the bunny.
And these are little pillows. Looks like she used
She got
Lady
a
Dot.
new logo going on up here.
Yeah,
Let me show
she
that new
does.
logo. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Look at this logo, everybody.
Yep.
Now that is a logo.
That's memorable.
That's.
It's
I
kind
bet
of
you.
a
And I bet
vintage.
you she inked that out with a dip pen, dip ink. Go knock on her door. Now you have a reason. Say, guy I worked with wants to know when you did
Peter
your
wants to know.
when you did your logo. Did you use a dip pen?
And actually, she was not at Market because, and I understood completely, I believe she was expecting one of her grandchildren to be born. So she said, I may or may not be, depending on when the baby came. So she wasn't there. So my thought is the baby came during Market, so she did not come. Her daughter was there, though. She stitched this on 40 count Fox and Rabbit linen Mayflower using Weeks Dye Works threads. And I have to show you the back. I said it was a pin keep stack. That's how they're stacked.
I bet Dawn doesn't have one of those pin cushions.
She may not.
Stackable pin cushion. Look at that. Is that a strawberry on that bunny that the bunny's hopping over? Looks
no,
like Bun Bun's hopping over strawberries.
I think
see
they're
a strawberry.
flowers.
Well, that one's got white seeds. Are those white seeds?
Oh, yeah.
I think he's getting
was
chased
looking at the
away.
wrong thing.
He looks like he's evading,
I haven't had to
escaping and
chase
evading.
rabbits out of my strawberry patch, but I did have to chase a deer out of my strawberry patch. And they just stood and looked at me like, what you gonna do?
They're like, no.
So after I took their picture, I started walking towards the strawberry bed, and he just thought, oh, she's serious. So he just turned and climbed over the fence and just went on his way. I'm like, okay. So now, and I thought it was odd because there were two of them together. And they had to jump a couple fences to get to my strawberry patch. So I've been kind of watching on my way to work. I pass a couple cornfields, and I have seen a herd of deer as big as 15. So I think they may be a couple of them. So, okay.
Well, your strawberries must be really good that they're willing to jump 3 fences.
Yeah, well, actually, it's my husband's strawberry patch. I turned it over to him. So I have too much other things to do. So this one is called Sarah's Sewing Bag. And this is done on 36 count Belfast Linen Natural, Weeks Dye Works. And it's a really cute
There's the deer.
bag. You see the deer?
Yep.
I think there's some deer and some dogs, and I'm sure where Stacy's at, she's got
That's
all
a
those
cute
out
dog.
there. I think she has chickens out there.
That's a cute dog.
Yeah.
I like the bricks.
So you ready for me to turn
Yeah.
it over? You can see the back of the bag.
Oh, that's cool.
Isn't that cool?
Okay, because I was trying to envision how that worked.
Yeah.
Neat. Oh, and there's designs on the back.
Yeah. Oh, that is a good deer. Deer and dogs. Okay, now, because I said she has chickens, and we decided these were really good chickens that she designed. We have the Spring Chickens Pin Keep.
Okay, I saw that on Instagram because I went back to look at the hashtags to make sure I didn't miss anything, and I saw that on Tuesday, and I
Yeah.
mean, it almost, I can Picture those chickens running around.
Yeah, these are really good chickens.
Those are really great chickens.
Sometimes you and I know designing can be difficult to just get everything right. But sometimes the eyes on the animals are they can either make them adorable or really creepy.
And this one right here, he's eyeballing you.
Yeah.
Like he's got his little head cocked sideways and is checking you out to see what you're doing.
Yeah.
Oh, and there's little baby chicks running around.
And look at their chicken coop.
Oh wait, there's a baby chick up there.
Yeah.
I like this.
So this is done on 36 count Dames of the Needle linen, Mad Hatter's tea towel.
Let me tell you something about these chickens.
What?
Somebody dropped the basket and left.
Well,
I think those chickens were giving them grief.
They might
and
have.
They're like, we're out of here. We'll come back later for your eggs. That's neat.
Yeah. So if you have chickens, this would be great. Or if you want to have chickens like me, you can't have chickens.
Yeah, I live in an HOA. No chickens for me.
That's sad.
But I'm going to have my chickens, and I'm going to have my wood cabin.
Yep. All right, so the next chickens and bunnies. That's a good bunny. Spring basket pin keep.
Oh, yeah, he's jumping.
And we have flying chicks. I didn't know chicks could fly. Maybe he jumped off the basket.
Well, there's a tight wire chick up there.
Yeah. Well, he's got his little wings out. So.
His little tightrope chick.
Yep. This is done on 36 count Fox and Rabbit linen, ballet slipper, Weeks Dye Works.
And that little bird's doing some ballet. Tiptoeing.
Yep.
Oh, that's just so sweet.
Yeah. And then we have Pretty in Pink Pin Keep. And I really like this pattern. Those fun little round flowers and the floss and thread. And if you look at the spool of thread up above the flowers, she's cross-stitched the base of the thread and then has taken the long stitches around so you can see the threads.
Oh, neat.
This is on 36 count Dames of the Needle Dirty U. Not U, E-W-E. Weeks Dye Work threads. Stitch count is 133 by 109. So it's a 7.5 by 6.5 finish. So it's a little bigger, but looks like it's got some rickrack around the outside, some pink rickrack. It's another cute one. Now we had some discussion on this one. This is called the Birds and Bees Sewing Roll, the Biscornu and Scissor Fob. Now we decided if we didn't want to do the sewing roll, you could just do that as a picture. So this is done on 36 count Weeks Dye Works linen in beige, Weeks Dye Works floss.
It's a very pretty border.
Yeah. The sewing roll is 7 inches wide by 12 inches tall. And on the back, she shows it all rolled up. And probably on the Biscornu, it's the underside because it's got flowers on one side and it looks like a beehive on the other. And then your scissor fob. So there's a lot in that pattern. A lot. All you patriotic stitchers, here's the Big Blue House Pin Keep Drum. This is done on 36 count Seraphim Linen Antique Lace, Classic Colorworks. It's got a stitched strawberry in there.
I like that. Swans.
Yeah. I'm not sure how much of the edge you can see. You probably can't see it at all. But it's got the flower border around it.
It's hard to see because it's dark, but
yeah,
that's really neat. There we go. You can see the colors better on the house on this one.
Okay.
'Cause on the other side, it didn't show that nice blue
Yeah.
blue brick. Is it blue?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's neat. That's pretty.
And then we have another pin keep drum called Wonderful Life. So this is one side of it with the house. It's done on 36 count Weeks Dye Works beige with Weeks Dye Works threads. And then on the other side of the drum, it says It's a Wonderful Life. So this could, honestly, you could display the house all year round and then use the back of it for Christmas. And then, speaking of another bunny, we have the Velvet Parsnip Needlebook. We saw lots of needlebooks, and I saw this. I even touched this. It was so pretty. Couldn't resist.
That's pretty.
This is done on 40 count Fox and Rabbit linen paper bark, Weeks Dye Works threads. Stitch count is 106 by 46.
That's so cute.
So I'm going to turn it around and you can see the needlebook closed up. It really
It's a
does look like a
carrot.
parsnip.
Parsnip.
Yeah, and then the felt
It's
or wool,
velvet.
let's see where I'm pointing. The little leaves on it coming out of the top.
I'd be tempted to stitch that bunny in wool.
Yeah.
So it'd be like fuzzy brown.
Yeah, they did call for, it's probably his tail
Or his crest.
and the white,
chest.
yeah, his chest and his belly is done with Whisper. So that's kind of a fuzzy thread. Okay, we're getting down here.
Yeah.
Classic Colorworks did a market floss.
Oh, neat.
And the fun thing about this is they called on some designers to tell them their favorite colors. Now, Priscilla's Peppermint. Priscilla Bain was stitching with the Housewives.
Wow.
Cottage Daisies. I don't remember who picked that one. Fields of Green was Kathy Haberman with Hands On Design.
I'm surprised they didn't put their name in the
I know.
description.
Well, even on the back.
I mean, on the tag.
Yeah. Storm Lake Sunrise. I don't remember who this, and I tried to find it before I came out here and I couldn't. But I guess I know half of them. Does that count?
Yeah. The
So
fact
these
that you know
are
any of them.
Some nice spring colors to add to the collections that we have here.
They're coming up on camera quite bright, quite deep, but they're not that deep.
No,
a
they're,
pale, it's more like a peach, and then it goes to like a lighter grass green, and then like a really nice variegated, creamy yellow.
Yeah, if you think about daisies, that's a true
Yeah, it is.
daisy.
And then that is like a pink. It's showing up red, but it's like a
Oh, no,
variegated
it's pink.
It's pretty.
It's pink, pink, pink. So we have lots of this here. I'm anxious to see which patterns they're going to use them in. So
Yeah, me too.
yeah, brought that back. And here's one of Peter's favorite designers, Luminous
Yay.
Fiber Arts. This one I just decided I had to have it. So even though we had some Halloween Quaker patterns, this is
Yay.
called Enchanted Quaker.
Oh, that's neat. I did not even see that. I
You
didn't.
didn't?
No, I didn't look at any of her stuff. I didn't look at any of it.
Peter. 124 by 254 is the stitch count. It's done on 32 count vintage Stormy Night. Classic Colorworks Black Coffee. A DMC 310 is the alternative. This is fun.
I like how Halloween looks like it's coming out of the chimney.
Yeah, and she's kind of swirled it to look like smoke. Looks like back stitches and long stitches and cross stitches.
Well done.
Yeah, how fun will that be?
Well done.
And then if you've been following Lenine,
That's adorable.
she and I did a stitch along. It was called Spooky Spells. Spooky,
Scary, spooky.
scary spells. And then I found out they had a Christmas one.
Oh!
So we had to get the Christmas one in. Well, now they have a spring one. And it's called Hop, Peep, and Leap.
Hop, Peep, and Leap.
Hop, Peep, and Leap.
Oh, man.
How fun are these? The stitch count is 160 by 60.
Yes.
She did this on 32 count salted caramel linen by Luminous Fiber Arts. Oh, she does her own fabrics.
Mm-hmm.
Looks like Classic Colorworks with DMC Alternatives.
How cute.
Isn't that fun?
Is that little guy with his scarf. Cute.
Yeah,
It's a leaping lamb.
has his scarf on. But I thought that was fun. Yep, we got to have that one. I mean, we have to have the whole set.
Yeah.
And then the Gathering series that she has been doing, she's had, let's see, Gathering Clover, Gathering Honey, Gathering Clover. Did
Sugar?
I already say that one? Clover. I mean, she's got several. We've got several. Well, this one is Gathering Stitches. And the stitch count is 76 by 76. Wouldn't it be fun to do those all in one?
That would.
To get all of them.
To
because
gather
they're
them all together?
Yeah, gather the gatherings together.
Gather the gatherings together.
And they'd all be different colors.
Yeah.
But still, I mean, you could arrange them almost like a rainbow or like an
Do whatever you
ombre.
want.
Yeah. She did this on 32 count Sparrow linen. Looks like Classic Colorworks. And there's only one color of floss. Or DMC Alternative.
Priscilla's pinks. For this one.
Let me see what they
I mean, it's not called for, but why wouldn't I use the Priscilla's pink for this one right here? I mean, that is
Yeah, she
like
uses
an exact match.
the Belle SOIE sister. Belle Soy sister.
Tongue twister.
I'm not sure how to pronounce that, but it's a scarlet. And it's a DMC 150, so I'm not sure what that color is. So it's kind of a pinky. But yeah, Priscilla's would be a good one.
I mean, that is a perfect match.
Oh gosh, yes.
I mean, that is dead on. Get that nice variegation going on.
Yep. So there you go. Got a use for Priscilla's. And then to go along with Hop, Peep, and Leap, we've got Cottontail Farms. Cute bunny.
Cottontail Farms.
Stitch count is 159 by 94. It's done on 32 count antique ivory linen. Classic Colorworks, Weeks Dye Works, DMC Alternatives. Looks like it's got some back stitches and long stitches. Fun little Easter. I imagine this wouldn't take long to stitch up. And if you don't like the linen, if you don't do 32 count, what count can you do it on, Peter?
You can do it on 14,
Or,
16.
there you go. That's the answer I was looking for.
I didn't stop to do the math to get the same
What is
chart
it you
size.
always say in the back room? You gotta do the math.
You gotta do the math. You gotta do the math.
And you didn't do the math.
Do the math. Well, I didn't hear the first number, so I just guessed.
So here's another one of Peter's favorite designers. And
Tiny Modernist.
yeah, Tiny Modernist.
Oh, she had some fun ones.
We got another tea time. It's a tea time palette. And it's always time for tea here. But this is cute. It's a little teapot that this bunny lives in.
You know, I never thought of putting a teapot in the garden.
Yeah. Stitch count is 60 by 60. She has in here, you can do on 14, 16, or 18 count. The model, which you see here, is stitched on 30 count linen in Grasshopper.
Grasshopper.
Grasshopper. So I thought that was cute. Little bunny's got his shirt and his pants hanging
Oh,
out
I
to
like
dry.
the little bleeding hearts.
Mm-hmm.
That's neat. Mushrooms, flowers. Good stuff.
Yeah. So that was fun. Now for you more, I would call it modern stitchers or fun stitchers. You like fun things.
Mm-hmm.
We brought Karma Chameleon.
Karma.
66 by 66 is a stitch count. This was done on 28 count Riviera Aqua by Weichel. DMC alternative in here. He's a fun little chameleon. He's cute.
Yeah, he is.
I like his little
him.
smile.
He's so happy.
Yeah, and they have
He's
those
decided
big
which-
eyes.
Yeah.
And then we have Crab Dance. I thought he was a cute crab.
Yeah, he is.
This was done on 32 count Beautiful Beige. 66 by 66 is a stitch count. A quick little stitch up. Got some fishies and starfish and a shell. Got a sand dollar up there.
I like all the aquatic life around him.
Yeah.
His crew.
fun.
It's his
Yeah.
crew.
And then we have, it's called A Stitcher's Garden. And this is done on 28 count Water Lily.
That's fun.
Yeah. Weeks Dye Works, Classic Color Works with DMC Alternative. So it's got lots of fun things in it. Kind of like a little sampler.
Mm-hmm.
But all things stitchy. You can put it with your stitching pillow.
Oh, make a...
And there was another one. I thought I had something else stitchy themed.
Somewhere, I'm sure.
I'm sure there's something. Oh, you know, Immortal would go with this.
Immortal.
With St. Patrick's Day coming up, we thought we could do with the good Irish blessing. Says, may your troubles be less and your blessings be more, and nothing but happiness come through your door.
Oh, cool
Got
border.
a nice little house up there on the top.
Yeah.
Got some 3-leaf clovers in there. No 4-leaf. Got to go find those on your own. But this was done on 28 count even weave. Looks like just a white. DMC. So you would have your back stitches. Looks like there might be some, yeah, lots of back stitching with the leaves and the flowers. So, had to bring St. Patrick's Day home with us. Okay, then we stopped off at Hoffman because I had to pick up some Blackbird Designs. Alma was not at market this year. We were surprised to see her last year, but she did not come this year, and she released 2 of, I believe they were, I won't say that because I'm not 100% sure, but there's 2 books that she released, and I heard there was a 3rd one coming out in May. So this one is called Birds of a Feather. Okay, this was a reprint from the one she released in 2006. And there's a little blurb inside the pattern here that's called Birds of a Feather. This is the antique sampler that she purchased, and this is her reproduction of it. She said it was, her pattern is based on a whimsical antique sampler she purchased on eBay in 2005. The sampler came from an antique dealer in Athens, Texas. Sadly, no information was known about the piece. Her initials are the only clue, and those were not very helpful. The birds and wild lollipop flowers, I like that, are striking, and she fell in love with the design immediately. The reproduction is not identical to the original, which was stitched on 48 count linen. She altered the borders and added an alphabet to her reproduction. The original sampler was framed when she got it. It was attached to a wooden backing. and the acid from the wood has caused some staining on the linen, which is the dark spotty areas around the edges. It adds texture and color to the design, in her opinion. So when she finished stitching her sampler, she took some damp coffee grounds from her morning coffee and rubbed it into the linen to try to reproduce the stained look. And when it was dry, she could just brush off the coffee grounds. But over the past 17 years, that added staining has faded away. So using the coffee grounds is not a permanent aging thing to do. So she gives you Weeks Dye Works, Classic Color Works, and DMC, and also Needlepoint Silk. If you use that, she gives you the colors for all of those. This was done on 32 count Old Town Blend by R&R Reproductions. Stitch count is 170 by 183. So that's a fun little primitive design.
Got some people waiting on that one.
I know we do. And we probably have more people waiting on this one. It's called United We Stand. There's 3 patterns celebrating the love of our country. So there's 3 patterns in here.
Did Lenine already get that?
Not yet.
Oh, she hasn't been back.
No, she hasn't been back. She'll be
Is
back
she coming
next
here
week.
Sunday or something to get it?
I don't know that I'm going to have them in the system yet. But you have a good pin cushion that says United We Stand around the outside of it. And I'm looking on the inside while you guys look on the outside. Okay, she has good finishing directions on how to make the square cushion. And this is looks like a scissor holder, maybe?
Oh, okay. The pizza? Little
Yeah,
pizza.
the pizza slice.
Pizza slice.
Yeah.
It's a hot pocket.
Keep
Keep your pizza warm.
She gives you finishing directions on aligning it and putting the button and the cording on it. So you can oh, it is a scissor pocket.
So it's not a pizza pocket.
No, no pockets, scissor pocket. I don't think you want to eat scissors. And then the last one is a needle book. Oh, how fun.
Needle book.
The flag.
Is that the flag? Is it shown?
Oh, you guys
Not
don't get to
pictured?
see it. Here it is.
Okay, there we go. Makes sense.
I didn't realize it wasn't on the front. So that's a needle book. That's fun. There were a lot of needle books at the market.
Just as I had said in the Lenine floss tube, Blackbird Designs, their flags are legit. I mean, the way she designs those flags, the way they wave and fold, and
Yeah.
it's just so realistic. That out of print one that Lenine's been
Unlike
working
this
on.
one. That's not really a legit flag, I don't think.
I mean, but this one right here, look at that.
Yeah. This is the front of the needle book, and this is the back.
Front and back.
And then this is the inside.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah.
Focusing. Focus. There we go. Ah, neat.
Yeah, so those are the 3 patterns. Here, I can show them to you again. We'll do it this way. Oh, there's another part I didn't show you.
But wait, there's more.
There's more. You know where they had the needles stuck in that fabric?
Uh-huh.
Look what it was covering up.
What?
So there's a lot to that needle book.
Oh, wow. I like that.
Yeah. So,
Neat.
honestly, in that needle book, if you didn't want to make a needle book, you could pull 3 designs out of that and do 3 smalls. So that was fun. And then Deborah, she would not let me leave the Hoffman area without the 2023 Prairie Schooler Santa. This is Snowy Night.
We'll sell a lot of these.
Oh, yeah.
This does really well.
We always do. This is done on 18 count putty khaki Davos. That's kind of a greenish, grayish color. It's an interesting color. DMC floss. So we've got him in the shop. One more designer? Or this one plus more? How's everybody feeling out there?
Is everybody still with us? Put in the comments if you're still with us.
It's a lot, I'm sorry. Not sorry.
Well, this is just a part, folks. We had to divide this up.
This is part 1.
Part 1 of many.
And then...
We don't know how many, but part 1.
The bad thing is I have to figure out where all these go back to, because I don't have these in inventory yet, so I got to get those entered. So another favorite designer of ours from Michigan, our northern neighbor, is Teresa Kogut. And she came out with 2 new punch needle patterns this year.
I was about to ask.
Yeah, and the first one is called Stitchy Bird. I like this bird. He's got a lot going on here. And the fun thing is the strawberry. It's a dimensional strawberry.
How many of you that are watching are punch needles? Let me know.
Oh, yeah. Let us know.
Let us know if we have some punch needlers.
Or how many want to learn how to do punch needle.
Yes, how many want to learn.
Let us know that. So, this is a true folk art bird.
Yeah, it is.
And Teresa does a lot of work with folk art styled things. And it came through on this one.
She's got a pin stuck in the tomato.
Uh-huh. Well, it's a pincushion. Why would you not put pins in a pincushion, Peter?
I think it's fun.
Yeah. And you can use, I think she just used regular pins, didn't she?
Regular 3. There's a white, a black, and a pink.
Yeah. I mean, you can use those fancy pins, or you can just use regular pins.
Yeah.
All right, there's that one. And then the next one is called Rhombus Lace. And it's a little dark for me. I think I might change out the colors and do something else, but I would leave the lacy part that same color. Trying to see what she used. I don't see any colors here. But again, you can switch out colors and make it match your house, your interior. But it's a good pattern. So now we go into her cross stitch. And honestly, this one is an early American folk art chart that I didn't think I got. Because the ladies' bustles and the birds on the bustles, I was like, not so sure about that. But this is called Kindred Spirits. And like I said, it is a true early folk art.
That's neat.
And
pretty cool.
I will show you the painting. Let's see.
Oh, there's a painting?
Yeah. This is
wow.
DMC flosses stitched on 40 count flannel flower by Fox and Rabbit. And she gives a definition of kindred spirits, a person whose interests or attitudes are similar to one's own. 5 characteristics of kindred spirits. 1, you feel like you've known each other forever.
Check.
2, you are 1,000% comfortable around them.
Check.
3, you always pick up where you left off. 4, you sometimes finish each other's sentences or say things at the exact same time. 5, they are a great support system. So Teresa does a lot of painting. And this is the painting that this chart was modeled after.
Man. How cool would it be to have one of her original paintings?
She sells them sometimes.
That's neat.
Yeah, so that's Kindred Spirit. And then the exclusive for market is called Egg Collector.
Oh.
I love this one.
I love that.
Yeah.
That made me laugh.
This is done on 40 count dirty teacup. Classic Colorworks, DMC Weeks Dye Works. Oh my gosh, she uses big words back here.
Too big to be able to pronounce after a long
Oh my
floss tube.
Goodness, let me see. Anthropomorphism, the attribution of human traits, emotions, or intentions to non-human entities. So the rabbit is the anthropomorphism subject in this, right? Wow. Teresa, please don't use such big words. But we all learned a new word.
It's the word of the day.
Yeah, but I like that. I like
It's
the
the
bunny.
word of the day. Use it with your coworkers. Have fun with it.
There you go. They'll look at you like, what?
Next time you're stitching at a stitch in,
Ah, there you go. Oh,
see if you can use the word in a sentence.
this one I love. It's called Strawberry Manor. Oh, and she tucked everything inside, so I can't tell you. I'm going to open it up here, Peter.
Okay.
See, I got proactive and put things in bags already. Oh, good color chart.
Yeah, it is.
And she says,
Easy to see.
I'm so glad I live in a world where there are strawberries. Me too, and so do the deer.
Definitely the deer.
Okay. She says in here, she was stitching Strawberry Manor. She decided to change out the cat for her sweet girl, Teeny Woo. Her real name is Athena. She stitched it freestyle at the Farm Girl Gathering retreat in 2022. She thought other dog lovers might want to do the same. So she also in here gives you the chart for the dog if you want to do a dog instead of the cat.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah. Let's see. DMC and Weeks Dye Works. This was done on 40 count aged hazelnut. If you are a Patreon, this was a Tier 4 mystery stitch along.
Tier 4.
Yeah. I'm intrigued by the Patreon program.
Lenine's in that. Lenine's in that.
Yep.
I think her program's good. I mean, the
Yeah.
charts that I've been seeing, the quality that she comes out with.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, if you even remotely like Teresa, it would be worth
yeah.
it.
Her inspiration for this design is her love of designing samplers and her love of strawberries. She has fond memories of her parents, brother, and her picking bushels, not boxes, bushels of strawberries at a local farm. You know the drill, one for me, one for the basket. Mom would spend days in the kitchen making strawberry jam and other yummy desserts and freezing some so we would enjoy them on cold winter days. So, okay. She's got some important notes regarding the chart. She's a fairly new stitcher. She's been designing since 2012. She just learned to stitch October of 2020 at a retreat. So she says that in the model she's made several mistakes. She also made some changes. She used a different color thread for part of the alphabet, and the Q is missing. She said that's deliberate. She said she made a few other mistakes, but she left them in. She's not a fan of frogging, so she made her mistakes work.
She's a kindred spirit.
Yeah.
I leave those puppies in there.
That's right. So that's Strawberry Manor. Let's see, is a Q really missing?
Yeah.
M-O-P. Yep, it sure is. But that's okay. We will let her. Ooh, I got lots of it. Oh, don't tell me I messed up here. I think I might have.
Nah.
And this one, I think it came out, as a free pattern through the Patreons. It's called Beauty Fades.
Beauty Fades, folks.
And this one I like because you can do so much with it. You can stitch it up
Wow.
as one.
Look at those roses.
And
Man.
or you can break it up and take out, I think there's like 3 segments
Yes.
that you can take those out and do them individually. So let's see. She says, when she was in 3rd grade, her teacher wrote in her year-end report card, "Teresa, I hope you have a real nice summer. I bet you will do a lot of drawing under a shade tree. Maybe someday you will be a famous artist and I'll be able to buy your drawings." Little did Miss Garnsey know, or did I know at the time, that I would build a career as an artist in the future. She attended a local community college and earned an associate in fine arts. However, her love for the primitive style of early American folk art and mixed media acrylics became the focal point of her art.
That's
She
cool.
began licensing her art in 1996. In 2004, she was attending a spring quilt market. She stumbled on a booth selling punch needle and embroidery patterns. So she fell in love with that, and soon after she returned from home, she bought the materials to make to do punch needle with. So that's how she got into punch needle. So then in 2011, she was attending a Nashville needle art market, and in 2013, she released her first cross-stitch pattern. How fun is that? I like that she gave the history behind how she got there, because she started as a painter, then went into punch needle, and then went into cross-stitch. So it's like, wow. So this is done on 40 count mocha by Weeks Dye Works. DMC Weeks Dye Works. And here's the painting.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. She said, "I love the wisdom in this verse. Society puts so much emphasis on how a person looks, as if beauty makes someone more important, influential, or worthy. What really matters is who we are inside. How do we treat others? How do we spend our time? Taking time to pray, to help others, and to be a light in the world is much more valuable and will always be in style." So again, this is an adaptation of Proverbs 31:30. So yeah. And that's Beauty Fades. And as your beauty is fading, you want people to remember you. You hope. And so,
For
this
good
one-
reasons.
for
For good
good
reasons,
reasons.
Nancy.
Yes.
Good reasons.
This one is called When This You See, Remember Me. So it's called Remember Me. And let's see. Sorry. This was done on 40 count ballet slipper by Fox and Rabbit. Classic Colorworks, DMC Weeks Dye Works. The back stitch is on the bug antenna. So look for the bug antenna. But it's got a lot of fun things in it. I see, nope, those aren't strawberries, those are flowers. I love the house on this one.
It's got that nice argyle pattern.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the color that's in the house is also on that little lowercase alphabet, which looks really cool too. And in the date black, 1791.
Yeah, lots of good flowers.
Good
Folk art
flowers and
flowers.
birds. Or not birds. Yeah, birds.
Yeah,
Butterflies.
there's birds. Have you found the bug yet?
No.
Oh, I see the bug. The bug and the birds. The bugs and the birds. Do you see them?
I can see some bugs, but they're tiny.
Yeah, they're little.
They're about to get eaten.
I think that's what the birds are chasing. So yeah, that. Okay, well that wraps it up for session 1 of what we brought back from market. And I'll get this cleaned up and go have some lunch and come back and do another round. So, let us know what you liked, and all the things we asked you to indicate down in the comments, because we do read them, and we will act on them if we can. Get back with you with any questions. So if you're signed up, I forgot to look to see if we had any spots left in the aftermarket party, but everything will be available then, and then it'll hit the floor. So we do have the ability to order these, because we were a shop that went to market. We can order these, I believe, up to a month after market, and then they'll be released to the public, to the distributors. So I'm excited. This is just, like I said, maybe a quarter to a third of what we brought back. Peter's dying.
I'm exhausted. I'm hungry.
So
We should have told everybody to eat and have a drink before they watch this.
Yeah. So now you can go to lunch, get something to eat, get your water refilled, turn the page on your notebook, or get a new notebook if you filled that one up. So we'll be back with more patterns in just a little bit. So thanks for joining us, and we look forward to seeing you in segment 2. Have a great afternoon.